Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Now today I'm going to be potting up the cuttings that I took from my very old Euphorbia ferox plant that unfortunately had come to rot, and it was a plant I had for over 25 years. Not sure what happened. Maybe it was just old age. Euphorbias can live a very long time, but anyway, it had rotted, and I made a video when I took the cuttings from the my original Euphorbia ferox. So if you didn't see that video, do check that video out. It was only a few days ago. Links will be up above and down below in the video description. And I wanted to wait just a few days just to leave them. The other ones I took, these three here, I could have potted up straight away. But this one I had to take a cut from the bottom of it, which I explained in the video. I wanted to see how fresh it was underneath the brown base of the skin, and I put some cinnamon powder on the bottom of it just to stop any chances of fungal attack, and I've left it a few days, completely calloused over, very hard. These three here, as I explained when I took the cuttings, these are the arms off the original Euphorbia, and if you look closely, just show you, there's little tiny nodules at the base of the bottom of these, where these little nodules are little roots starting to form already. I don't know whether might be able to see a bit better on this one here, already starting to come through. So I just wanted to leave it a few days for this one to callus and then pot them all up together, and I'm going to put them all into 4 individual pots. And I've made a soil mix up of a mixture of loam based soil, LOAM. In this case I'm using John Innes, a number 2. And I've mixed it with horticultural sharp sand, some pumice, and a little bit of perlite as well. Perlite adds a little bit of lightness and aeration to the soil. Pumice is great, and also got a little bit of lava rock in there as well. So probably a mixture of a ratio of about 60% loam with about 10% sharp sand, and the rest all with pumice, perlite, and a bit of lava rock as well. So as long as you're using a very well draining soil, I've mentioned that in many of my repotting videos, when it comes to potting up cacti succulents, a very well draining soil is needed, one that dries out quickly in between waterings. And as long as it does that, you're pretty much okay. But this is the mix I'm going to be using for these euphorbias, and these are the little pots I've got. And obviously because these are still, they haven't got any roots as such, although these have got little nodules starting to come out. And it is sort of very early spring as such now. Once I've potted these up, I'm going to be keeping them dry for a couple of weeks and then introducing a very small amount of water, just giving them a little bit of light watering at the top, just to encourage rooting, because cuttings, if I was to just pop these up and then just water them as normal without the roots, they rot, could come back up again. So that's the last thing I want to do, and it's always good. Luckily it's sort of more or less very early spring now, so this will start to be coming back into growth again. I just want to show you something rather odd on this one here. There is a hole on the top of this. This was already on it when I took the cutting. And as I mentioned, the mother plant had actually rotted. Now I did shine a sort of a torch, a little LED light right into this, and there's no signs of any insect that's burrowed into it. It goes down to probably just about there, and it's completely callous. And I was going to cut it off again, but it seems to be okay. I'd rather sort of leave it. But I have a wonderful friend here. I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with him, called Clyde Morris. Hi, Clyde. And Clyde, if you're watching this video, Clyde is the expert on euphorbias, guys. He has an amazing YouTube channel called Clyde Morris, where he talks and shares all of his beautiful cacti and succulents. Has an incredible greenhouse, but he's a specialist on euphorbia. He has the most incredible euphorbia plant collection, and he's very expert on there as well. So Clyde, if you're watching this, do you think I should just leave this as it is? It's completely hardened up and maybe it would just side shoot. Or do you think I should cut the top off? I'm going to pot it up anyway today, but what do you think? And guys, if you're not familiar with Clyde's amazing YouTube channel, it's called Clyde Morris. Links will be up above and down below in the video description. So do go over and subscribe to Clyde if you haven't done already, for lots more euphorbia care tips on there, including propagation and lots of other things. So there we go. I'll pop this up for now anyway, but I think it's going to be okay. But see how it goes anyway. So there we go. It's a little bit of my waffle. mentioned the soil mix I'm going to be using, or yep, I've made the soil mix. I put a little bit of soil already in the bottom of the pots, and now I'm just going to be potting them up. There we go, it's the first one I'm going to pot up here. And so a little bit of soil in the bottom. I'll just lift it up there so you can see. Me put a little bit more soil into this. And I want to make sure that I put the soil line up to about there. And I have cut away the very lower parts of these, the thorns here. Because obviously if I was to leave the thorns on going down, it's going to be difficult to pot up. And that leaves that clean there. And that you can see already, tiny little nodules from where the root's going to come out of there. So here we go, to put that into there. That fits in quite well as well. Like that, and then just a little bit more soil around. See what I'm doing? Soil in the sides here. Tap the soil so it goes all the way down into the sides. Down to the sides. Bit of a shake, and then loosely press down here. So you want to make sure that the soil is all the way down to the bottom, so there's going to be no little gaps. And I'll show you the first couple potting up, and then I'll show you the finished result. There you go, that's the first one done. I'll stick the little label, Euphorbia ferox, in there, and I'm going to top dress it then with a bit of pumice afterwards. So that's the first one. Now I'm going to do the second one here, and then I'm going to show you the finished result when they're all done, rather than bore you all with a long video. So again here, let's move this one that's done out of the way, and then this here, a bit more soil, and then little cutie potted up. Again, you want to bring it up to about there, so these little nodules that are starting to come out there, as you can see, will form into roots. Press that down in here. It might not be the most attractive looking, but hopefully it should recover well in the now it's the spring, or almost spring I should say. And there we go. And again, same thing. Tap the soil so it goes all around the sides of the pot, and you don't want to push it. You want to make sure that you put the soil around all the edges, but you don't want to press it down too hard, because when they haven't got roots, it's important that the air is very just move so you can see what I'm doing. It's important that the soil goes all around the side of the pot. You don't want to press it down too deep, because you want to make sure that there's plenty of aeration in the soil for the roots to breathe when they start to form again. So there we go. As again, I'm going to top dress this with a bit of pumice afterwards. Do them all. And a label, Euphorbia ferox. There we go, it's the second one. Now almost done, just the last one. Again, right into there. Little hole. And then soil all around the edges. Tap that soil in. Tap it all in, press it down slightly, so you want to make sure it's firm in its pot, but without being too compacted, so when the roots start to form, they've got plenty of aeration in the soil. And the label. That's them all done. Now that's them all potted up, and I've got some pumice. I'm just going to use a bit of top dressing just to make them look a little bit more attractive. You can use grit or anything else you like to use. You don't even have to use top dressing, but I think it sort of finishes them off a little bit nice as well. And this one. There you go, that's all for them, top dressed, labelled and potted up. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and all your support. And for lots more tips and tricks on how you can care for and grow cacti succulents, then please do subscribe to my channel. And also check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye.